Hello, this is Genghis Sean, and I want to introduce a series I am doing called Dungeons & Dragons Lore Through the Editions. D&D lore is something very close to my heart, and I love learning as much as I can to use it in my games. However, sometimes I have problems where the lore is inconsistent, because throughout different editions, they change the lore. Sometimes they change the lore within an edition, which is even more confusing. And there's a lot of differences. Some of it can be reconciled through actually history of the world. When they introduce a new edition and they introduce new lore, they will give an in-world explanation as to why this changed, why the cosmology is different, for example. But a lot of times they don't. Sometimes it's just small mechanical differences. Maybe this creature has this spell when it used to not. But sometimes it's pretty big things like the ordering of what devils are higher than others within the infernal hierarchy. There's really no reason for those changes. They just kind of happen. So I just wanted to start a series where I go through the lore of every single edition. Now, I have not read every D&D book released by TSR and Wizards of the Coast. I am not well acquainted with every edition. I didn't start playing D&D until 5th edition came out, like many people. So I'm not the most educated in this topic. However, I am doing my best to find all of the relevant source books and reading through them and getting all of the relevant information I can. And I hope I can deliver useful information and provide you guys with all of the existing lore so that you can pick and choose which lore you like the best for your games. But obviously, I will miss things. There will be a book that covers stuff that I didn't know existed. There will be a book that I did read through that I cited for a video, but there will be a paragraph or a sentence that I missed or a whole chapter I missed. And if that's the case, if you notice this, let me know in the comments, and then I can fix it. I can make clear that this part of the video is incorrect or missing information. I want you guys to be educated, and I want to learn things too, so please point out any errors you notice to me. For my first video series, I am going to cover the Nine Hells as a whole and Devils as a whole. I will do a video on each layer of the Nine Hells specifically, and I will do a video on each type of devil there is. I will also discuss the infernal hierarchy of the Nine Hells and sort of the politics of it, and then eventually I might do videos on specific characters, mainly the lords of each layer. Now, this is more focused on the differences between editions, and I'm also in like different abilities and the different rules and stuff that have changed, and I'm sort of assuming that you already have a basic understanding of the Nine Hells and of Devils. So there are some other YouTube videos you can check out if you're completely new to this, but just to give you a little bit of a summary, I can do that to you. The Nine Hells is the lawful evil plane where devils come from. Do not confuse devils with demons. Those are two different things in D&D because they like to make things complicated. Daemons are also another thing that's completely different. But devils are lawful evil. When you think of the type of devil to make a deal with you, to make you sign a contract in order to get your soul, and you don't read the fine print or something like that, and it ends up screwing you over, but it's all technically fair and legal because the devil never technically lied. You signed the contract. Those are D&D devils. They are lawful creatures, but they are evil. They have been in an eternal war with demons from the abyss called the Blood War, and both sides are trying to, especially devils, are trying to get souls to commit evil acts so that when they die, they will be damned to hell, and they will have another devil to put in the armies to fight the Blood War. The Nine Hells is sort of like the colloquial term that mortals know it by, but the extra planar beings and the scholars who study the planes would know it by its official title, which is Baator. And Devil's official title is called the Batizu. This is all words and vocabulary that is introduced in the Planescape setting from 2nd edition. So the Nine Hells is Baator, the Devils are Batizu, and then each different type of devil, a lot of them have specific names that I will cover later. But once again, you know, that's just sort of like some generalization. I'm going to go into a lot of detail on some topics, and then other topics I will just assume you're kind of already familiar with how devils work in D&D. If you want more lore, you can check my sources and just read through the lore yourself. You can also check out AJ Pickett is a YouTuber that has a lot of really detailed videos on devils. And then Jordan with a PH and Mr. Rex also do some really good D&D lore videos. Mr. Rex hasn't really made many on the Nine Hells or Devils. He has a couple. He has one on Asmodeus and Levistus and a couple other things like that, but and nothing on Devils in general. But I'm trying to fill in the blanks here. But I just wanted to explain kind of what I'm doing with this. I hope you enjoyed the series.